7:35, we're gonna be calling our July 10th regular board meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
President Brown,
Here. Can you use the list right here?
yeah. Highway Commissioner Ben,
Here.
Mary Kay, absent. Trustees Klein,
Here.
Francis,
Here.
Tyson,
Here.
Boyack,
Here.
Tax Collector Davis Kieran Young is absent as well.
And then Clerk Jones
Is here.
All right. All right, so we have all 5 members of the board present. We do have a quorum. Next up on the agenda is public comment. I invite anybody with public comment to go ahead and speak. Please note that you are limited to 1 3-minute comment per person.
Anyone else? I'm here. I'll go first. Can
I have your name first?
Absolutely. My name is Vince Clark, 500 block Juanita Drive, Naperville.
Thank you.
I have a timeline of events that'll lead up all my 3 minutes. I can deep dive into it later if there's any follow-up at the end needed. This issue started May 16th, 2024. I emailed the township inquiring about a maintenance responsibility for the corner of Quebec and Allen. There was no response after several follow-up emails, so I called the office to speak with Carolyn. After providing her with my concerns, she requested photos and mapping software that I possess, and I provided her with same. On 5/19 of 2024, I noticed someone had cut the grass, but they damaged a utility box. I have no clue if it was the township or who it was at this point. I sent an email letting Carolyn know about the damage, and I still inquired about the fact that I still haven't had my answer about who the property ownership was. On May 30th, 2024, Carolyn responded by forwarding me an email that Kevin allegedly sent, but I never received it. Kevin's email didn't provide the answers to my questions, so I sent yet another email. 6/7/24, still nothing. So I sent another email requesting the response, nothing. Then there's a huge lapse of time all the way to August 23rd of 2024. I sent another email inquiring the corner once again is over. I sent another email advising that once again the corner is overgrown and definitely needed attention. August 28th, 2024, still no response, so I tried a different approach and I emailed Michael Croner. 9/4, no response, so I sent him a second email. 9/12/2024, finally received a response. He advised that there was a mix-up in communication and have his staff look into it. 9/13/2024. No response, so I called the office, but Michael's not available, so I have to leave a message. 9/14/24, finally received an email letting me know he could call me next week. I received a conference call from Michael and Bill later on after that date. I updated them and Bill advised he would reach out, or start research it. Bill reaches out and his contacts advise it belongs to the city of Naperville and he will contact them. Naperville comes out, cleans up their side of the property line, but the township still remains untouched. Fast forward to, or not even fast, but 11/15/2024, I reach out to Naperville, and they provide me with the GIS mapping showing that it's the township's property. I contact Bill and advise him of the information I've learned, and he says he's learning this, he's also learned the same thing from Will County's land usage. Nothing is done in 2024, and then the corner is left untouched. Present 2025, 6/10/2025, corner is a big mess now, it's completely overgrown, and I send Bill an email about same. Bill responds and he advises he will share with the new boss, Harry, and let the others, or let others know that need to get involved as well. 6/11/25, Bill pops by in his own time to look at the corner. At what point he removes some of the low-hanging branches on his own that were visibly hindering the street because the drivers couldn't see past the corner. Since then, Bill and I have had a few more conversations that he's still working on it, and Harry is still trying to figure it out and approach this and resolve this. I tried calling last week, all last week and Monday this week with no answer. Bill sent me a text on Monday letting me know he's on vacation, and there still hasn't been any more progress. And I'm out of patience, so here I am.
Did you say this was referring the corner on Allen and Kupik?
Yes, you were involved in this last year.
I just want to make sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You want me to do that?
In addition to that, I mean, this is perfect bonanza time, if you want to call it that. We have a flood watch going on.
Mhm.
All of us watch the news with the flooding. I'm not saying we're going to have something like that, but for those of you who aren't familiar, the end of the block where I'm referring, there's a little spillway there, right? So the creek area, and it's all the properties in that area, and that water feeds into that little creek there, which then is dumped into the city of Naperville. It's been full of trash, which I pointed out, the branches and everything's overgrown over there, it's a mess. Again, I don't know who cleaned it or who cut the grass on May 29th or whatever, I assumed it was the county. This isn't a hard thing to handle here. It clearly shows in the maps, I did all the research, I did all the follow-up, all the research, all the background that I shouldn't have to do to get a hold of all these entities, show the mapping, and it's still no response. I don't know what the hangup is here, but I'm done. Now that this is documented, if there's any flooding or anything over in that corner, all the neighbors and all the property owners will have something to fall back on. I shouldn't have to be here.
Which subdivision?
Wheatland, I don't know, I'm on the north side, Allen and Quebec.
Okay.
Maybe someone else can answer that, I don't know.
Want me to do that?
Yeah,
I
take it. I'm sorry?
You want me to do that in highway report?
Sure.
You want me to go on it?
Yeah, you can address it during the highway department, the highway report today.
I'm sorry,
He'll address that during his comments later today.
as a result of me being here, or you already had something to address, Harry?
No, but we've been working on stuff. Yeah, we've been having conversations about it.
Okay, then I want to re-stress my frustration, this has been going, Michael, you were part of this, and I thought we had this resolved, but again, now it's documented and I shouldn't have to be here.
I heard.
I mean, when is the highway report on, what's the agenda, how long until it's here? Or this, I can listen to it later, right? I mean, are you guys gonna have any more
Here,
questions?
here, I'll just-
be here.
I'll go out of order for you. So we've been having conversations. The township has never maintained that property. It's always been somebody else.
And I can tell you who that
maintaining
is, sir. It was the gentleman who owns the property next to it, right? He's been cutting that, so he shouldn't have to. Why he did it, I don't know. I've only lived in the subdivision since 2017. So again, did my due diligence, did my research. He now has a maintenance company, landscaping company doing his property because he's older and got fed up with it, right? It's not his responsibility.
that. So this is a newer thing, obviously, but I was
Newer for
here
you.
in 2024.
Yes, newer for you.
So, if you look at those plats are kind of weird, the way that they did the annexation agreement.
Absolutely.
So we're taking a look at what we can do for either turning that over to the resident there, as part of the annexation. Or looking into maintenance of the property. But definitely coming in and cutting stuff down. But we're gonna go in. We're gonna try to figure out what's gonna happen there. That should have originally been annexed in.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, but we're
Yeah.
at present value right now. This has been going on year 2 on this. I don't understand what the hang is. I don't know the dynamics of why someone can't come out there. If it was them on May 29th, they came out and cut it, right? But since then, it's overgrown now. It's beyond acceptable. When you have an employee that has to get out of his own car on his way home to rip down branches because he's concerned about school bus people as well as cars, they can't see. We're past that.
That was previous, right?
No,
So,
this was built a couple of last month.
and that he should not have done that. And so that's
That's-
the highway department.
Okay,
thing,
well-
right? So we're working through some of those issues on that property. This is something that got dumped on me later on. Okay, there's people that don't want to take ownership of that property, and we're dealing with the entities that are involved within it. And I've already had a conversation about cleaning up that property for the time being. Until we can figure out if we can just annex that into the.
When seeking
yeah,
clarifications, what do you mean
yeah.
there's people that don't wanna take responsibility? What does that mean?
Because nobody's ever maintained that property.
But it
So that's
clearly
never
shows
been-
it's in the township, right?
So here's where there was confusion and why
Yeah.
there was a delay in the last year. With that corner, as you all know, it's a really funky corner in the way the property lines are drawn
Right.
because of the annexation and so forth. So as you mentioned, your neighbor previously was maintaining it.
No,
So
the neighbor of the property on the corner, the house that's directly next to it.
there you go. So one of the property owners was already maintaining it.
Mhm.
And so to our staff's knowledge, when we were asking about it, nobody at the township could ever recall the township had taken responsibility at that corner. And because it was always done by a resident up until last year, that's why it only came to the attention of the township very recently. Oh, that's actually kind of within our boundaries, that just couple of feet right at that corner. So because it got stopped being maintained by the neighbor, that's the only reason the township even became aware that that was something for them to figure out and to begin addressing going
May
forward.
2024.
Yeah,
Over
so-
a year ago.
I hear, and then if I recall correctly, I'm not in the highway department, we don't have our previous highway commissioner here. I think it had gotten addressed a couple times last year. And so I don't know, I don't recall if the highway department had taken care of it last year or if one of the residents had taken care of it last year. So I think that's kind of why it kind of
I
fell
can
off
fill
their
you in
map.
with a couple
and
things
then-
that maybe I'm not privy to, and I'm not pointing fingers, because the people that are involved, are trying to help, are still trying to help. There's certain individuals that said, we haven't done it in 30 years, so we're not. Reader's Digest version or subtitles, gonna do it anymore.
Gotcha.
The documentation I sent clearly states, this is the townships. I don't understand why it's just. Again, I'm not in government, I was in government, but not in your government, but if I work for someone that just looks at a map and keeps pushing this off, you're kicking the can, and there's no answers. Until I just keep getting, we're working on it. I'm done. This is past it. It sounds like such a small thing, but it's frustrating. Not only do I have to look at it and everybody coming into the community, but again, now the township's on notice, flooding, anything that happens out of there, you can't hide this one.
Understood.
So, and then, go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead. Please finish your comments.
Separate aside, some suggestions, because I like living in this community and it's not all about bad things, there are good things. We used to get a newsletter. It stopped. Looks like the last one was archived summer of 2023. That's what it says on the website at least.
Yeah, there was one that went out in May of this year, and then we're actually working on getting drafts out to get things going on it
Okay,
again.
that'd be great, because
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you stay informed, right?
Yep.
Educated community is a happy community,
Mhm.
not something where you just keep working on something like this. In addition to that, there used to be weather alerts that would pop out.
Mhm.
I don't know if that was through Everbridge. I know you guys were somehow connected with the city of Naperville and that.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's where it came from, but you at least get an email.
Mhm.
For example, again, I want to go back to the flooding and stress that, how much the concern is. It's, number one is the concern of the community of the flooding, but the aesthetics part of, other people don't take the time.
Mhm.
And I don't like to, you don't test me, I guess what I'm saying here. I've been patient, Michael. Bill's been trying to help with this or whatever, but it's just dead ends. And the dead end has brought me here. So
Sure.
I'm not letting this die. There needs to be something done. Or the next thing I'm aware I can do is go to the county at a later here, because it's in violation of code enforcement for the county that supersedes the township.
Mhm.
Am I correct? So that's my next step.
Okay.
It's not a threat, but just letting you know, I've been upfront and honest. All my emails are trackable. Here I am, the ball's in your court.
And Harry, we can check on the status of the weather alerts, because I know we used to pay for the contract. I don't know what the status of the current contract is, so we'll get that looked into. Speaking of public comment now.
Yeah, Todd Morris, just wanna let you guys know you have an ordinance, that if somebody calls and complains about their grass, you're supposed to cut the grass and bill the homeowner or the bank, whoever owns the property. So, to his remark, probably should have been handled a year ago, at least for safety concerns, and then you would have figured out on your own who owns the property and bill them.
That's a good point, sir, because initially when we started off, it was told that the streets are Allen and Kubek. Kubek is actually the owner of the house that they initially tried saying was his, but he's on the other side of the creek, which is the city of Naperville. There was a lot of pushback and just finger pointing and whatever, and I used to do stuff that I enjoyed the challenge. So when it came back to initially being told it was Naperville, it was Kubek, and then now it's definitely based on the city of Naperville who has the mapping system. It's the townships, which would be the county telling them they have to cut the lawn here shortly if something happens.
But we do have an ordinance, they should just have cut it.
If we, to the property owner, but the property owner is the township.
And they would have found that out when they figured out who to bill.
You and I both have the same direction here that something's gotta be done.
Does that conclude your comments?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any additional public comment? Yes.
Brenda Morris. So I noticed on the bill payment that, the employee, the new Ellen Angel Contreras that we hired, or the supervisor hired, went from $400 on his paycheck to $5,800 on his paycheck. I don't remember seeing a job description posted. I don't remember seeing that advertised, interviews, anything. I'm assuming that was just, he was hired by the supervisor. Cause I don't remember any board votes on that or anything. So I'm just a little bit concerned about that. I don't know who this person is. I believe what I heard, he's doing policies and procedures. I haven't seen anything on the website that says there's policies and procedures, anything going on, if it's just a job, if it's a committee. I also haven't seen anything on the new committees that were formed on the first meeting that took place with this new board. So I was just wondering what's going on with all the new committees that were formed. Let me see what else. That might be about it. Oh, other than, since you're addressing Highway Commissioner Benton, this gentleman's concerns, I have called several times about the speed limit sign on 119th Street. That still is on the wrong side of the road for 35 miles an hour, so people think it's 50 miles an hour. We have one way in and out of our subdivision, and I would appreciate if the 35-mile-per-hour speed limit could get posted so people know it's not 50 when they get to our subdivision. Would you please make sure that you could handle that? Highway Commissioner Benton.
Look into it.
I mean, I expect the same courtesy that you gave this gentleman with his concerns, so, I mean,
I thought this was pretty straightforward that I'll look into it.
and you'll get back to me?
Yeah.
Or will I have to call you?
No, you can call, I
Thank
can
you.
get back to you.
Great,
Does that conclude your comments?
that concludes my comments.
This is on
Thank
the trustee, or I'm sorry, on the township property side of things, or is this on annexation?
Naperville side.
Oh, so it's on Naperville side. Okay, so I'll talk to Naperville.
Public comment, Bonnie?
Bonnie Reavers, Staff Out Drive, Wheatland South. In answer to him, I don't know how, don't ask me how, I don't know how, but somehow I get Will County notices about the weather and everything that happens. I got one a half hour before I came over here. And I also get things from next door about the whole, and I get things from the Naperville police and the Plainfield police and another man that used to be a policeman that's retired. So I don't know how I get them, but I do. But my main concern is I want you guys to start thinking. I want to put this into your heads. I don't know if there's anything that we can do, but last week we had the fireworks. And when the fireworks first came out here, in our subdivision, the city of Naperville went around and put signs that said no parking on our streets. Then during COVID, that disappeared. And so we don't have them anymore. So there were numerous cars along Wagner and Whittington and Webster and Walter. And there were people racing around our subdivision after the fireworks were over. Now, I don't know if there's anything that you guys can do, but I think that you should start thinking about it and jump on the bandwagon for next year, because the fireworks this year were a big deal. They're gonna be an even bigger deal next year when it's 250 years. So that's just something that I want you to think about. I don't know if we can put up signs. The people in the subdivision that I talked to, that came and talked to me, and I told them I was coming to the meeting tonight, they want put in speed bumps again. I wanna be front and center, I am against speed bumps. But whatever, we have a long time until next July, but I think we need to plan ahead, because I think it's going to be a big, and I don't think it's only gonna be our subdivision. I think it's gonna be all the subdivisions around the high school,
Sure.
which all are in Wheatland Township.
Okay. Does that conclude your comments?
That's it.
All right, thanks, Bonnie.
Mike, I'm gonna bail here, but I don't know your procedure, but I just thought of this. Is there a deadline we can put on this, that someone contacts me? I think that's reasonable, since I've been waiting to year number 2, where I don't have to say, what's the status of this? Like, come up with a date, like you'll hear from us by something, just something I think is fair at this point, since I'm the one that's been pushing this issue since May of last year.
Harry,
I know, Harry, you're doing this, so maybe you and I can talk offline here and.
I'll look for you, so it's fine here.
Tell you what, if you wanna write your number down. Hey.
Thank you for your time, guys, and women and everybody else.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, we're gonna actually have to table this. I made a mistake here. It shouldn't have been the special meeting minutes for May 22nd. It should have been or actually, hold on one second.
This one.
Well, we're gonna go on to 5.2 and then I'll explain 5.1 in a moment. Can I get a motion to approve the June 12th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes?
Second.
Okay. We have Francis and Tyson. You all have copy of the minutes. Go ahead and take a moment to review. And let me know if you have any comments or concerns before we move on to roll call. Okay.
So. In 9.7. Says trustee Francis asked about the use of the projector, and it was. It was trustee Tyson.
Okay. So do you want to move to amend the meeting minutes
I
to
moved
reflect
to
that?
amend to say trustee Tyson asked about the projector used.
All right, and I'll second that motion. Can you do a roll call on that amendment, please? Really quick?
Trustee Klein,
Yes.
trustee Francis,
Yes.
trustee Gloria,
Yes.
trustee Tyson.
Yes.
And Supervisor Crowers, yes.
Supervisor Crowner?
Yes. All right, any additional modifications to the minutes?
Hearing none, motion passed.
Now we're doing a roll call on the full meeting minutes.
Trustee Francis,
Yes.
trustee Klein. Yes. Trustee Gloria,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
supervisor Crown.
Yes. All right, okay, passes. 5-0. Next item on the agenda, approval of the June 26th, budget hearing minutes. It's also in the packet. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Second. Any,
Made the motion. Said you, Francis.
hearing no comments, roll call please.
Trustee Klein,
Yes.
trustee Francis.
Yes.
Trustee Gloria,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
supervisor Crown.
Yes. All right, motion carries 5-0. Okay, so going back to approval of May 22nd special meeting minutes. We didn't approve that at the June meeting because we didn't have enough trustees for that. I didn't print a copy of that for you guys, but did you all review the previous ones? Are you okay with?
And I cannot vote on it because I was not here.
Okay, so you'll abstain from that vote. Okay, so then, can I get a motion to approve the May 22nd special meeting minutes?
Motion to approve?
A second, please.
Second.
All right, so we got Klein and Francis.
Any chance the public could read it? We get a copy?
They were posted online. I can get you, I'll print off a copy after this meeting if you would like,
That'd be great, thanks.
no problem. All right, hearing no comment, roll call please.
Trustee Klein. Yes. Trustee Francis.
Yes.
Trustee Gloria,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Abstain.
supervisor Crown.
Yes. All right, motion carries 5-0. We have no old business or new business for the agenda. Moving on to approval of bills and claims for the town and road district. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
And a second, please. Second. All right, yeah, Francis and Klein. Any questions or comments on the bills before moving on to roll call? Hearing none, roll call please.
Trustee Clark? Yes. Trustee Francis?
Yes.
Trustee Gloria?
Yes.
Trustee Tyson?
Yes.
Supervisor Crowner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We paid the bills yet again. Moving on to reports, Administrator Bill Green is on vacation. I hope he's enjoying his vacation.
Well, I'm
I'm sorry?
I'm here.
Did you want, hey, Bill,
Thanks for joining this vacation.
did you want to give a report? Did you have a report for today?
Yeah, I was just gonna remind everybody that the Plainfield census is coming up. So if you get questions again from your constituents in the area, just remind them that the census workers will be dressed appropriately. They will have tags. They will have identification. So they're, not to worry about somebody knocking on their door. Other than that, I'm not going to go into all my golf scores and Don kicking back about 10 feet to my left. But we're having a good time, and Monday will come soon enough.
All right, thanks, Bill. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Yep.
Moving, Assessor Katzberg submitted a report in writing saying she's focused on catching up as much as possible on the assessor's office work before appeals process begins on August 6th. Deadline for Board of Review complaints is September 8th. Highway Commissioner
What was that
here.
about September 8th?
The deadline for Board of Review complaints. Oh, I can also forward this to you if you want this.
September 8th?
Yes.
So, we did some compiled linear feet of new inlets, along with pipe that we laid. So 2024, well, I'll go back to 2021. We did 5369, 19 new inlets, 2022, 5778 feet, 20 new inlets, 2023, 5925, 25 new inlets, 2024, 4946, 24 new inlets. Right now, we're on track with 15 feet of 12-inch, 1383 is 6-inch, 84 feet of 4-inch, 28 feet of 10-inch, 532 feet of 12-inch, 84 12-inch, and 9 inlets. We're looking really good on the budget, running some actual surpluses and bringing more money in, finding money all the time. We are looking at doing a new truck for the highway foreman, Kevin. We're looking to get a bigger truck, possibly a F-350, F-250. There's looking towards Sourcewell for the fleet, for the government rate. And it's looking like we're gonna go a little bit more towards the F-350. That way we can put the plow on that we have, make it a little bit better for the winter season, make it a little bit more accessible. It doesn't make sense for him to have the F-150. He agrees with it. So we're gonna put a better truck out front that doesn't need any type of maintenance. The difference between the F-250 and the F-350 on this quote, and we're gonna put out some more quotes too, even though this goes out to a major quoting for Sourcewell. It's only a difference of about $630 from going from the 250 to the F-350.
It's impressive.
Yeah, so savings off the lot compared to if you were just buy it, we're gonna be saving about, $1,866 versus only $1,219 for 250 to a 350. But we are gonna put out some other bids, make sure that we've got the best bid out there. And we are gonna take a look at doing a bed liner. Obviously, we have to have the strobes on. That's only about $300 from Sourcewell or anybody else. And then we're gonna make sure that it has the harness so we can put the plow on. And we've got the plow sitting out here, so the attachments are there. And then we have to put the front attachment arm on. But outside of that, Things are looking pretty good. We are getting a recapture from the development in the front of the property for some underground work that we did years ago. So that amount of money coming in, that is gonna be no additional work towards the taxpayer or additional taxes. So this is gonna actually be able to go in and just pay cash for this and probably offer some better services by doing it. So that's all I have right now. We're out there working, so just want to thank the crew that's out there kind of beating the heat and figuring it out, putting more stuff in, more pipe and fixing the roads. So any questions? Oh, Trustee Francis asked us a question about response. Obviously with Texas, the floods that are happening right now, we took it very serious. We are part of a regional program right now that does, that we pay into, that we will receive support from other agencies. We also work with PEMA, the Plainfield Emergency Management Agency, IEMA, Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and FEMA, but FEMA's not really great right now, so we're making sure that we have everything that's in place. We also do a lot of intergovernmental agreement work with some of the other agencies that are local, Naperville, Plainfield Township, and the surrounding areas along with the county. And then one of our former employees from the highway department or the road district here in Wheatland is now working for Will County Emergency Management. So we've got an inside track there.
Good.
So, and that's a little report from me.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
Thanks, sir. All right, next up on reports is trustee Mary Francis.
I've no report.
Okay, trustee Matt Glowiak.
Don't have a huge report or anything, but did recently meet up with Angel Contreras, had a conversation about what we were talking about with the mental health plan, and it was a very exciting conversation, to tell you the truth. So really a lot where I gave him my credentials, information as it pertains to mental health. So he's got my license, addiction certification, all that. We're in the midst of putting together a grant to have that submitted. Hopefully everything works out. I believe we should find out within the next month or so.
Yeah, I'll address that.
Somewhere along those lines, yeah, so you'll know a little bit more about that than I necessarily do, but I know kind of the breadth and depth of this plan really hinges on, what we end up getting funding wise. And we were talking about, though, ultimately wanting to get to a point here where we can offer the, free counseling services to people who would otherwise go without, with the transportation, combining everything there. And then, finding some counselors who would be able to service the community, so we're looking forward to it.
Great.
I have one question. Will that
Yes.
include telehealth?
What's that?
Will that include
We were
telehealth?
talking about telehealth, and yes, I think that will be on the table, as one of the options that we could do.
Good.
Yeah. So personally, as a clinician, telemental health is my favorite.
Alright, thank you, Matt. Trustee Jeff Klein.
I have no report at this time.
Thank you. Trustee Margaret Tyson.
Thank you. I'm chairing the senior committee, and we meet on the first and third Wednesday of the month. And this upcoming third Wednesday, we're meeting at Alleluia Lutheran Church, which is our first time meeting there. It's on Book and 103rd Street. And we're going to be playing bingo and serving food from Doggy Diner. That concludes my report.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what was the date on that?
Alleluia Lutheran Church,
The date on that?
this
Oh,
16th,
from yesterday, yeah.
16th, it's a Wednesday.
Same time, 12, like the old meeting, sure.
Yes.
All right, thank you, trustee Tyson. Clerk Jones.
Closed out a FOIA last meeting and had one new FOIA. Nothing else to report.
Thank you. Tax collector Scriven Young said he was unable to make it this evening, but he has no activity to report at the cemetery for the last month. And then for my report, a couple of things. I attended the quarterly membership meeting for the Metropolitan Township Association where a new board was selected. I've, as I can always do, just kind of, keeping open communication with other townships, always looking for opportunities to, collaborate and see what opportunities are for, IGAs and so forth. Or just kind of modeling programming that could be useful for Wheatland Township. Today I had a meeting, actually down in Joliet, Will County Building, with, one of the county executives, chief of staff, and their, forget the gentleman's title, I believe he's director of, transportation, but not transportation, but, they're the Will Rides Program Director. So we are, in line to be included as part of the Will County Will Rides Program. So it will be a complement to the PACE program that we currently have running. But what's nice about that program is that any rides that originate and end in Will County will be 100% covered by the county. So we'll be able to offload those from our bills with PACE, and then I'm going to work with them and push them to actually include certain specific areas within Naperville, specifically anything medical related. So kind of do carve outs for like Edward Hospital and some of the dialysis centers that some of our residents may utilize. So that they can also have 100% free care. Where most of our residents are gonna be going to Edwards as opposed to say St. Joe's or Silver Cross, so I was gonna make sure I pushed them to include those our hospitals, even though they're in DuPage County, so they are open to that, they just gotta work with PACE to make that happen. Audit process has begun. I know our accountant is starting to collect documents. We've had some requests for information from our auditors. And last piece is for those of you who are basketball fans, you may know that a Will County resident was recently drafted number 7 in the NBA draft. So just want to say congratulations to Jeremiah Fierce out of Joliet. Attended Joliet West High School. So with that, I conclude my report. Yes.
With the access for transportation, PACE
Yes.
and Will Rides. Do we have a radius on that? I mean, PACE is typically 3/4 of a mile from a bus stop, right? If you have a disability.
Are you saying for our program specifically? So our residents, so if you are a senior or someone with a disability, it's curb to curb, right? So it's pick up from your home to wherever you gotta get to, and we do not have a restriction on where they can go. There are some municipalities and other places that like limit their rides only within the township. There are some that will only limit it to say medical visits, but we do not have a limit for our seniors or folks with disabilities. And I confirmed with Will County that they would similarly not have a restriction on the type of visit as long as it stays within the county boundaries, so.
And that's no cost, it's not like a.
No cost, it's
fee or
no
anything.
cost they request a donation from the resident utilizing the service, but it is by no means required, and we will not receive any invoices for service. It will be covered completely by the county, and they are currently planning on including that in their budget for fiscal year 26, so that's why we would get our residents, that service will be turned on for them December 1, which is the first day of the new fiscal year at the county level.
Okay, yeah.
And go on.
There was just a conversation I had today with Disability Resource Center. They have a lot of issues with their residents, only being within 3/4 of a mile from a bus stop, and then they're a mile and they miss it by 1/4 of a mile. So they could realistically hop in an Uber, get dropped off, and then hop back in, and then even for these paratransit.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you clarifying that one, because that's a big
So
deal.
you can tell, because I know you cover a significant portion of Wheatland and Plainfield Township. So Plainfield Township was recently added to the Will Rides program. So you can already get them signed up for Will Rides for folks with disabilities. And then if they live in Wheatland, we already covered it, but it's our program as opposed to the Will Rides program. So feel free to send them to their respective township. One thing I did forget, this is what Matt was bringing up. We are currently working on a mental health grant to provide direct services, from the township. There are dollars available at the county level, so we're currently applying for those. We applied for some funds at the state level as well, but with kind of craziness going on in DC and the uncertainty with certain dollars that the state relies on to redistribute down to the local level. They temporarily postponed that grant program. It's expected that they will actually reopen that grant opportunity by the end of this month. It's just that they're anticipating that the average allocation will be lower than it was initially expected to be. So they're just going through the revisions, trying to understand exactly how much they're going to put into that program and how many grantees they're gonna award dollars to. So now with that being said, I will conclude my report and welcome a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
In a second.
Second,
All right, I'll do this by voice vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, meeting is adjourned at 8:16 PM. You want to turn off the recording?
Bye, Bill.
Have a good one, Bill, if he's still on.
Hopefully he's not.
Mike, what was the name of the bank?
No, I'm still on, but
I was listening to you too.
yep,
Go back to your vacation.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
later.